This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to welcome you. Hopefully you will find what it is that you're looking for. Now you may have been asking yourself, what's with all these coincidences lately? Why is it that when I think something, it manifests? Sometimes right away. I'll be having an idea on a subject, and I'll be having a conversation with somebody randomly. The subject will pop up. What's with it? What most people on this path start with as far as coincidences are concerned is 11:11. Why is it that when I look up at the clock, it's always 11:11? Why do I keep seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34? Why do I keep seeing 333? What's with it? What does it mean? If you do a Google search, it'll talk about how these are angel numbers and angels are trying to communicate with you, and the divine is trying to get your attention. Well, I am to say that yes, that's correct. But what does that really mean? The thing is, as we go through the school system and we're taught by society, we're taught to really rely on a left brain style of thinking. Now, what's that all about? Left brain style of thinking is very logical, very analytical, very linear, right? It's all based on facts and building upon things that we can tangibly prove with the 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. And if it falls outside of those 5 boundaries, we can't logically explain it, and the majority of people disbelieve it. Well, the thing is, right brain thinking is actually the opposite. Right brain thinking is symbolic. It's creative thinking. It's artistic thinking. It's chaotic thinking. Okay, it's abstract thinking. Because they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. When you look at an image, it can mean many different things depending on what the person has a definition of that thing. So if I see a skull, I see something different from the average Trump supporter when they see a skull, right? When I see a unicorn, I think something way different than what you think. It's all symbology. So when you're transitioning to living a spiritual lifestyle, you're learning how to speak and how to understand, how to hear, how to see through symbols. Because I'll just go ahead and tell you, the subconscious mind generates your reality. Now, just like a computer has an operating system, the subconscious mind is a symbol-based operating system. The subconscious mind communicates to us, and we communicate back to it through symbols. Now, symbols can be anything that represents something else. Now, that can be something visual, that can be something that is a smell, basically anything that does involve the 5 senses, but we're not looking at the thing itself. We're looking at what the thing represents. So the right brain, which is creative thinking, and the subconscious mind defines meaning of a thing based off of what it means, as opposed to the left brain that just looks at the surface level of a thing. The subconscious mind goes deeper. So, with that being said, when you keep having these coincidences, the natural response is to want to explain it away so that it makes sense to the left brain. Oh, it's just a coincidence. Oh, well, this happened just because X, Y, Z, right? And most people are satisfied with that. But deep down inside, you have a feeling that there's something more. And this is it. The subconscious mind is always trying to communicate with us. The spirit realm is always trying to communicate with us. The divine is always trying to communicate with us. And when we start paying attention, it gets very excited and it tries to get more of our attention because it's eager to initiate this back and forth. And it starts with the 11:11. 11:11 is the gateway. If you look at it, it looks like 2 doors, right? 2 panels to a window. That type of thing. I know I didn't do that on purpose. When we see 11:11, it's a pattern and it starts to get our attention and we start questioning, why do I keep seeing this pattern? What does it mean? It gets us thinking symbolically because really it doesn't mean anything. It's just a number. But symbolically, 11:11 represents a gateway, and it represents you now going through the gateway of a spiritual lifestyle, transitioning from the left brain to the right brain. 2 doors, 11:11. That's what it means. So here's the thing. A lot of times if you actually study the occult and you read a lot of these books, there's often a warning against insanity, right? Some people are afraid to study magic because they think that it will turn them insane. You'll find that a lot in H.P. Lovecraft's books and people who talk a lot about the Necronomicon and the Cthulhu mythos. Insanity is the big potential fear, potential downfall. Well, here's the thing. When you're walking on the spiritual path and you get deeper into it, these synchronicities only accelerate. These coincidences only stack up more and more and more. Where you might be seeing 1111 every few days, someone like me is seeing these coincidences on a hourly basis, minute by minute basis. Because the universe is always trying to communicate with us through symbols. And the thing about insanity is, for those who don't have a proper grounding, a proper base in themselves, right? Those who aren't grounded in who they are and in their energy, when they start seeing all these coincidences pop up over and over and over again, it gets scary. And it can really drive somebody to extreme anxiety, right? It can drive people to have panic attacks. It can cause someone to, for lack of a better word, go insane. They'll need to take a break from everything and get grounded again, right? So to really avoid that, it's important and it's crucial to take the time to sit down and meditate. Because when you meditate, what you're doing is you're slowing down all those thoughts that are bouncing around in your head. You're slowing down all those random thoughts, most of which are not even yours. And really what you're doing is you're setting a barrier between what you define as you and what is the outside world. Because you can't tell if spirit's clearly communicating with you if you can't even define yourself. It's like having a map. You can have the destination, but you can't get there if you don't know where you are, right? You've got to have the separation and draw the line in between. So when you're meditating and you're being still, you're noticing the thoughts that are floating around your head. You're noticing all the sounds and all the sensations and all the data that the five senses are bringing you. And you're learning how to not let those things affect. You're learning how to separate yourself from the outside. So you focus on your breathing. You focus not thinking. You focus on stillness. You focus on just existing. And when you practice doing that, you can start to clearly define what is you and what is not you. Now, when you're able to do that efficiently, at least by practicing on a regular basis, as these coincidences start to happen, you start to say, oh, okay, I hear, I see, I understand. Something outside of myself is communicating with me. But I'll go ahead and save you some time. It's not outside of yourself. It is actually the subconscious mind speaking back to your conscious mind. What you're doing is you're bridging the gap between both the left brain and the right brain, 11-11. And this whole spiritual occult practice is just that, bridging the gap between left brain and right brain, masculine and feminine. That's what true androgyny is, bridging the gap and becoming one. That's why we talk about the third eye or the pineal gland, which is located right in the center, right in between. It's symbolic, right? The actual pineal gland isn't an eye that sees things. It's a symbol. It's a symbol to focus a certain type of energy on, the energy of perception. So I hope that kind of clarifies why you're seeing 11-11 and why you may be experiencing multiple coincidences back to back to back. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it only keeps accelerating. And if you've been watching my channel for some time, you're already on this frequency. So you're starting to notice these coincidences and these things happening over and over and over. So yeah, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Check out some of my other videos if you have other questions about other spiritual things. I will see you in the next one. Peace.